Imagine sleeping just 4 hours a night and waking up clear, calm, and focused. Most of us would call that impossible. But in remote Himalayan monasteries, that's simply daily life. So how do Tibetan monks rest so little and still thrive? Their secret isn't superhuman discipline or hidden herbs. It's how they've redesigned the very idea of rest. Welcome to Western Monk. Tonight you'll explore how monks balance mind and body so efficiently that sleep becomes only one part of recovery, not the whole of it. From evening meditations that empty the mind, to butter tea that fuels focus, to the breathing rituals that recharge the body, we'll uncover how these ancient habits can help modern people feel more awake with less strain. In monasteries across Tibet and Nepal, mornings often begin before sunrise. Bells echo, incense drifts through stone halls, and monks rise from just a few hours of deep silent rest, ready to chant, work, and study for hours. Let's start by understanding how their day and their sleep are shaped by an entirely different rhythm of life. So what's going on? How can people who sleep 4 or 5 hours a night, often on wooden floors or thin mats, feel more rested than someone with a memory foam mattress and blackout curtains? Let's start by dismantling a myth. Monks don't try to sleep less. They don't brag about it or measure it. For them, rest isn't a competition or a status symbol, it's a natural outcome of balance. In their world, if the mind is calm and the body is used wisely, sleep comes easily and a little goes a long way. In monasteries across Tibet, Bhutan, and Nepal, daily life is simple but full. Monks wake around 3:30 or 4 a.m. The first thing they do isn't scroll or stretch, it's to sit in stillness. Meditation begins before the first light of dawn, and the body adjusts to this rhythm. There's no caffeine dependency or frantic alarm clock, just the sound of a wooden gong echoing through stone corridors, signaling another day of awareness training. Modern sleep science, interestingly, supports parts of this. Studies show that sleep quality depends heavily on mental state. When people go to bed stressed or overstimulated, they spend more time in light sleep, their brains cycling between half rest and half alertness. Tibetan monks, on the other hand, cultivate mental stillness throughout the day. They enter rest without the mental clutter that keeps so many of us awake. And here's something even more interesting. Many monasteries see rest not as a break from practice, but as a continuation of it. Some senior monks describe sleep as unconscious meditation. Their pre-sleep rituals prepare the mind to stay aware even while resting, keeping the brain waves closer to the deep regenerative frequencies associated with recovery. One Tibetan saying captures this beautifully. The body sleeps, the awareness does not. That doesn't mean they don't need rest, but it shifts what rest means. Sleep is not escape, it's another form of training. Now imagine this in modern terms. A typical city worker might crash into bed at midnight after hours of blue light, work stress, and social media. Their mind races for half an hour before drifting off. The body lies still, but the mind keeps running. By morning, even with 8 hours, they feel drained. A monk, by contrast, has spent the day in steady focus, meditating, studying, walking, chanting. Meals are simple and consistent. The nervous system is stable. When night comes, there's no unfinished chaos looping in the head, so even 4 hours of rest can feel like a full night of peace. Of course, not all monks sleep the same way. Some traditions, like the Kagyu school, include advanced practices where practitioners deliberately reduce sleep during long meditation retreats. Others, like in Gelug monasteries, maintain about 5 to 6 hours nightly. The common thread? A life rhythm tuned to mental clarity rather than fatigue management. There's also the physical environment. In high-altitude monasteries, nights are freezing, yet monks sleep without heavy comforters or heaters. Instead, they rely on the tummo practice, an inner heat meditation that literally raises body temperature by focusing on controlled breath and visualization. This keeps them warm and helps blood flow, preventing the grogginess that often follows cold or restless sleep. Even the sleeping posture is intentional. Many monks rest in a lion posture, lying on the right side, head slightly elevated, legs gently bent. This position, taught by the Buddha himself, is believed to help digestion, maintain alertness, and promote conscious awareness even in rest. Interestingly, modern studies show this side-sleeping posture supports lymphatic drainage and brain detox, something neuroscientists now link to better morning clarity. When you see a monk at dawn walking barefoot through a courtyard, eyes open but calm, breath steady, it's not just discipline. It's the result of a life built to minimize inner friction. Their minds are less cluttered, their bodies more attuned, and their days balanced between movement and stillness. The result? Less exhaustion. It's tempting to think this level of peace is out of reach in modern life. But the truth is, many of the principles behind monastic rest are deeply practical. They're not about religion, they're about rhythm. How you breathe, how you wind down, how you treat the mind before sleep. That's where our journey goes next. To understand how monks train their minds to rest deeply, even in the brief windows between dawn and prayer. Because in their world, rest begins long before you lie down. If you watch how monks end their day, you'll notice something simple but powerful. They slow down, not suddenly, but gradually, like the fading of a bell's echo. Modern people often try to switch from full speed to shutdown mode instantly. We scroll, work, or talk until the last minute, then expect the mind to power off like a machine. Monks do the opposite. They guide the mind gently into rest. Their nightly routine starts not with comfort, but with clarity. After evening prayers, monks often sit quietly in the dim light of a butter lamp. No screens, no chatter. Just the sound of wind outside or the soft creak of the temple wood. It's during this time that they practice a short meditation known as closing the day. This reflection isn't about guilt or judgment. It's about emptying the mental desk drawer. They review their actions, words, and thoughts from sunrise to sunset. Whatever was done well, they acknowledge. Whatever mistakes were made, they forgive and release. Then they dedicate all merit, all effort to the well-being of others. This step is more than moral practice. Psychologically, it's like clearing mental tabs before shutting down the system. No unfinished loops, no mental to-do list replaying during sleep. When monks lie down, their minds are light, uncluttered by regret or planning. Science echoes this principle. Cognitive researchers now talk about pre-sleep cognitive arousal, the mental noise that keeps people awake. Overthinking, emotional residue, or anticipation can delay deep sleep. The monastic reflection acts as emotional detox, resolving tension before the body even hits the bed. After reflection comes stillness. In some monasteries, monks sit for several minutes focusing only on breath, feeling it enter and leave without control. This practice, called shamatha before sleep, slows brain activity and heart rate. It's a bridge between waking consciousness and deep rest. They may also recite a short mantra like Om Mani Padme Hum to anchor attention. The rhythm of the mantra regulates breathing naturally. Instead of falling into sleep unconsciously, they let awareness drift like resting on the surface of calm water rather than sinking. In advanced traditions, especially among older monks, there's a more profound practice called dream yoga, a branch of Tibetan meditation that treats sleep as an extension of awareness. Practitioners train to remain conscious within dreams or at least enter sleep mindfully. The goal isn't control but continuity, to keep the mind clear and compassionate even while resting. It might sound mystical, but the foundation is simple. Don't end your day in distraction. End it in awareness. Let's translate that to modern life. Imagine you replaced your last 15 minutes of scrolling with a quiet check-in. What did I learn today? Whom did I help? What can I let go of? You'd likely sleep more peacefully, not because of magic, but because you've given your mind closure. Monks also take care of sensory quiet. They lower light slowly. In many monasteries, electric lights are still rare or dim. The glow of a single lamp or candle helps melatonin, the body's sleep hormone, rise naturally. Compare that to bright LED screens, which suppress it completely. Sound is handled the same way. Silence isn't absolute, it's balanced. You'll hear wind, maybe a dog barking far away, or monks murmuring mantras. These natural sounds form a steady rhythm that calms the nervous system. Artificial noise, by contrast, traffic, notifications, television, keeps the brain on alert. Some monasteries include incense as part of the transition. The scent of juniper, sandalwood, or cedar helps mark the end of day. In Buddhist psychology, smell is considered deeply linked to memory. The same scent each night signals the body, now it's time to rest. There's another subtle element, the mindset of impermanence. Monks go to sleep as if it might be their last time, not in fear but in peace. This attitude, drawn from Buddhist teachings on death and awareness, softens attachment and anxiety. By letting go of tomorrow before sleep, they remove the subconscious tension that keeps so many people restless. You might hear a senior monk say, "Sleep like the dying, wake like the newborn." In those words lies a formula for deep rest. End the day with nothing to hold. Begin the next with full presence. Some visitors who've stayed in monasteries describe a strange shift after only a few nights. Even with shorter sleep, they wake up feeling lighter. That's the mind's recovery power when it isn't tangled in unresolved thoughts. Modern psychology calls this closure. Monks call it release. The effect is the same. Emotional rest equals physical rest. When we think about sleep today, we often focus on mattresses, supplements, or blackout curtains. Monks focus on the state of mind that enters sleep, because if your thoughts are racing, no pillow can save you. Their method is elegant. Reflect without judgment. Breathe without effort. Let go of the day before the body lies down. Simple, ancient, and incredibly effective. In the next part, we'll look at how this inner calm connects to physical habits, how posture, breath, and even food timing support deep rest without long hours. Because monks don't just train the mind to rest, they train the body to follow. If the mind is the doorway to rest, the body is the bed frame that holds it. And in a Tibetan monastery, that bed frame is literal, a wooden platform, a thin mat, maybe a folded blanket. No luxury. Yet somehow, monks wake up energized. It turns out that what they remove from their sleep environment is as important as what they keep. The physical side of monastic rest follows the same principle as their mental training. Simplicity creates stability. Let's start with the environment. Monasteries are often built high in the mountains, where nights are cold and air is thin. The temperature drops well below freezing, but monks don't use heavy bedding or heaters. Instead, they rely on a balanced combination of breath, posture, and natural materials to regulate body warmth. Inside their small sleeping rooms called kuti in some traditions, the air is cool, dark, and still. No flickering lights, no digital noise. The simplicity keeps the nervous system calm. Modern sleep science confirms that cooler temperatures and minimal clutter promote deeper sleep. The monks have lived that truth for centuries. Then comes posture, one of the most distinctive parts of Tibetan rest. When the Buddha attained enlightenment, he was said to have rested in what's now called the lion's posture, lying on the right side, head slightly supported by the hand or a small cushion, and legs bent just enough to relax the lower back. This posture, taught for meditation and sleep, became standard across many monasteries. Physiologically, it's brilliant. Lying on the right side improves circulation to the heart, supports digestion, and keeps the airways clear. Modern researchers studying sleep positions have noted similar benefits, including reduced acid reflux and steadier breathing. The monks were right, long before data confirmed it. The idea isn't just comfort, it's awareness. The lion posture prevents deep unconscious collapse. The body rests, but the mind stays lightly awake, maintaining awareness even as it dreams. This supports their meditative goal, continuity of mindfulness from day into night. Another subtle but powerful ritual is breathing. Before lying down, many monks take several slow, deep breaths to release any remaining tension. Some practice gentle forms of pranayama, or wind training, controlling the subtle currents of breath that in Buddhist medicine are thought to move through energy channels in the body. The goal is to let the breath settle into its natural rhythm, soft, silent, and smooth. Even without believing in energy channels, there's a clear physiological effect. Slow breathing lowers heart rate, increases oxygen delivery, and tells the body it's safe to sleep. Let's talk about timing. Most Tibetan monks eat their last solid meal before noon. That means when night falls, digestion is long finished. The stomach is light, the blood is not drawn toward heavy processing, and the body's temperature naturally lowers, a key factor for quality sleep. This ancient rule, no meals after midday, was originally a vow of simplicity, yet in modern biology it aligns perfectly with what's now called time-restricted eating, known to stabilize circadian rhythms and improve energy regulation. Evening drinks are minimal. Some monasteries serve only butter tea, made from yak butter, salt, and tea leaves. It's thick, nourishing, and high in fat, perfect for high altitudes. But it also provides slow energy release, preventing hunger or blood sugar crashes overnight. Some monks rub a small amount of butter on their lips or nose before bed, an old remedy for dryness and cold. It's not just comfort, it helps maintain steady breathing in thin mountain air. Another aspect often overlooked: physical fatigue without tension. Monks' days are active. They sweep, carry water, walk uphill between shrines, sometimes work in fields or kitchens, yet their movements are rhythmic and mindful, not frantic. This kind of activity builds healthy fatigue, the kind that helps the body sleep deeply, without the adrenaline crash that comes from modern stress. One Western volunteer who lived for several weeks in a monastery near Lhasa described it this way: "I was tired every night but never exhausted. My body wanted rest, not escape." That's a key difference. In modern life, people often fall into bed wanting to escape the day. Monks fall into bed simply ready to renew it. Even their clothing supports this calm. Robes are loose, breathable, and made of natural fibers like cotton or wool. There's no tightness, no synthetic texture trapping heat. Small details, but each contributes to that full-body message. You can relax now. One more subtle practice. Directional awareness. Some monks align their sleeping direction toward the east or south, not superstition, but symbolism. East is associated with awakening, south with stability and grounding. The orientation reinforces intention, that even rest is part of spiritual discipline. So let's summarize what the body learns from the monastery. Keep the environment simple, cool, and quiet. Eat light before night. Rest on your right side. Let breath settle naturally. End the day with steady physical work, not exhaustion. None of these require religion, only rhythm. And perhaps most importantly, monks don't treat the body as separate from the mind. Physical calm supports mental clarity. Mental clarity enhances physical rest. The two work together, reducing the total energy debt that modern people build up every day. This is why 4 or 5 hours of monastic rest can equal 8 hours of restless modern sleep. It's not the duration, it's the depth. Next, we'll uncover how monks maintain that energy through the day, the hidden system behind their vitality, an economy of energy that keeps them alert, balanced, and strong, even with minimal sleep. If there's one image most people associate with Tibetan monks, it's a steaming cup of butter tea, thick, salty, and unlike anything served in a cafe. It's more than a drink, it's an energy philosophy in a cup. In the Himalayan cold, this blend of black tea, yak butter, and a pinch of salt is daily fuel, but its purpose goes deeper than warmth. Butter tea provides slow, steady energy, the kind that sustains long hours of meditation and work without crashing the body. Modern nutritionists would call it a fat-based energy source. The butter's natural fat stabilizes blood sugar and prevents energy spikes. The tea's caffeine is mild, releasing slowly, and the salt helps hydration at high altitudes. Together they form a balanced energy system that aligns with the monk's rhythm. Calm, warm, focused. Many monasteries prepare butter tea at dawn, and again before midday, always freshly churned. Some monks even sip it in small portions during late-night chanting or study. There's no concept of grabbing a drink to wake up. Instead, the drink becomes part of mindful living. But tea is just one of their ancient aids. The Tibetan medical tradition, known as Sowa Rigpa, or the science of healing, offers a detailed understanding of how herbs, breath, and environment affect rest and vitality. According to this system, balance depends on 3 principles called Nyapa, lung, wind or movement, Trifa, heat or metabolism, and Bekan, earth or structure. Sleep and wakefulness depend heavily on lung, the wind energy that governs the mind and nervous system. Too much lung caused by stress, anxiety, or overstimulation makes the mind restless and sleep light. To calm lung, monks use specific herbs and rituals. One common herb is sowa, a type of Himalayan valerian root, known for its mild sedative effect. Others use rhodiola, a hardy alpine plant that enhances endurance and focus. Unlike modern sleep pills, these herbs are used not to force sleep, but to harmonize the system, so sleep comes naturally. Some monasteries burn juniper or cedar before bed, both believed to clear the air of stagnant energy and soothe the senses. The scent has a calming neurological effect, much like aromatherapy. Another lesser-known practice is breath training, and it's central to how monks manage fatigue. Monks train the breath as carefully as a musician tunes an instrument. They believe that when breath is erratic, thoughts are erratic. When breath is calm, thoughts are calm. Before rest or during moments of fatigue, monks often practice 9 purification breaths, a short sequence of inhaling and exhaling through alternate nostrils, each cycle visualizing the release of tension. Modern researchers studying pranayama and Tibetan Tassa lung practices have recorded lower heart rates and improved oxygen efficiency afterward, both signs of parasympathetic activation, the body's natural rest mode. But there's one advanced breathing method that fascinates scientists most. Tummo, or inner fire. Practiced in cold Himalayan regions, Tummo trains practitioners to generate heat through visualization and controlled breathing. Studies led by researchers like Herbert Benson at Harvard Medical School in the 1980s found that monks practicing Tummo could raise their body temperature by several degrees Celsius, even in freezing conditions. To monks, this is not about impressing others. It's about mastering internal energy. When breath, focus, and body unite, the system becomes self-sustaining, less dependent on external comfort, more rooted in inner balance. And this ties directly to sleep. When the body maintains its own warmth, circulation improves, muscles relax, and oxygen delivery stays consistent, all of which enhance the quality of rest. That's why monks in the Himalayas can sleep lightly, without thick blankets, yet wake fully restored. There's also chanting, another underestimated energy tool. Chanting mantras creates rhythmic vibration in the chest and head. This vibration stimulates the vagus nerve, which regulates rest, digestion, and mood. Long before neuroscience named it, monks discovered that vibration could shift the body from fight or flight into rest and repair. Imagine hundreds of monks chanting in unison at dusk, deep voices resonating through stone walls, harmonizing breath, heartbeats, and awareness. By the time they lie down, their physiology has already entered deep calm. Sleep is no longer a struggle, it's a continuation of that vibration. At this point, it's easy to admire the monks and think, well, sure, they can rest deeply, they live in silence in mountains. But the real value of their wisdom isn't in copying their lifestyle, it's in understanding its principles. You don't need to live in a monastery to sleep like a monk. You just need to live with rhythm and intention. Let's break down what modern people can actually use from these centuries-old habits. The first lesson is simplicity equals stability. Monks remove friction, not just physical clutter, but mental clutter. Their rooms are bare because their minds are meant to be clear. You can practice this right now by simplifying your pre-sleep environment. Put your phone away an hour before bed. Dim the lights. Use one scent, one sound, or one ritual that signals to your brain, the day is over. In neuroscience terms, this builds predictive calm. Your body learns what's coming next. Just as the sound of a bell tells a monk it's time to pray, your nightly ritual tells your body it's time to rest. The second lesson is closure before sleep. Remember how monks reflect each night? That practice might be one of the most powerful forms of mental hygiene ever discovered. Before lying down, pause for 2 minutes and mentally review your day, what you accomplished, what you can release, and what you'll let tomorrow handle. Write it down if it helps. This single act can reduce nighttime overthinking, one of the biggest causes of insomnia. The third lesson, train your energy, not your sleep. Monks don't try to sleep more, they manage energy better. They eat and move in ways that prevent depletion. That's something anyone can do. Avoid heavy dinners. Take short mindful breaks during work instead of scrolling through stress. And when you feel exhausted, ask, am I truly tired or just overstimulated? You might discover your fatigue isn't from lack of sleep, but from constant attention leakage, too many tabs open in your head. In the monastic model, the real rest happens while awake during meditation, walking, breathing. This is key. Monks rest their minds many times a day, not just at night. That's why they don't depend on long sleep. For us, micro-rests are the modern version of meditation. A 1-minute pause before checking your phone, a slow exhale before responding to an email, a moment of quiet before a meeting. These little rests recalibrate your nervous system and save energy that would otherwise drain through tension. Then comes rhythm. Our culture glorifies flexibility, staying up late, skipping meals, multitasking, but the body thrives on consistency. You don't need a monastery bell to build rhythm. You need cues, small habits done at the same time daily, stretching, reading, turning off lights, or preparing tea. The body loves predictability. It rewards it with deeper sleep and sharper wakefulness. Another insight from the monks: light movement before rest. They never collapse into bed after chaos. Their evenings are quiet and slow, chanting, gentle walking, or breathing. That helps clear adrenaline and signals safety to the body. If you replace nighttime scrolling with a short walk, light stretching, or breath work, you'll feel the same shift monks cultivate naturally. We also can learn from how they treat silence. Monks don't use silence to escape noise. They use it to listen. In modern life, that could mean 5 minutes without sound, no podcast, no playlist, no background TV, just presence. Silence lets the nervous system recalibrate. It's not emptiness, it's maintenance. And then there's the relationship with sleep itself. Most of us see sleep as a fix, something we turn to when we're exhausted. Monks see it as a mirror. If their sleep is restless, it reflects imbalance in the day. Try thinking that way. Instead of asking, why can't I sleep? Ask, what during my day disturbed my balance? That question alone can transform your routine. Here's another piece of practical wisdom: ritual over routine. A routine is something you do. A ritual is something you mean. When monks light a butter lamp, it's not just lighting a lamp, it's marking transition. When they drink tea, it's not just hydration, it's awareness. Turn your nightly tea, skincare, or journaling into a ritual of slowing down. When meaning enters the action, the nervous system follows. You might also borrow their approach to temperature and posture. Keep your room slightly cool. Sleep on your right side. Use breathable fabrics. Small things, but they echo the same harmony of body and mind the monks maintain. And finally, there's a mindset shift, maybe the most important of all. Monks don't measure rest in hours, they measure it in peace. If your mind is calm, even a short sleep can restore you. If your mind is chaotic, 10 hours won't be enough. So rather than chasing more sleep, consider cultivating better wakefulness. Be present during the day, eat and move with balance, resolve what you can before night falls. When you do, sleep will stop being something you fight for. It will come naturally, as it does for the monks. In the next and final section, we'll tie it all together, exploring the real meaning of rest according to Tibetan wisdom and how anyone anywhere can bring a little of that mountain calm into modern life. So after all this, what's the secret to how Tibetan monks sleep 4 hours and still feel amazing? It's not a magic herb or hidden mantra, it's balance. They don't spend the day draining themselves, so they don't need the night to repair it. If thoughts come, they breathe. If they're tired, they rest. For them, rest isn't something you chase. It's what happens when the body and mind stop arguing. If emotions rise, they let them pass. Their rhythm works because it's honest. Regular meals, calm evenings, mindful work, and peace with imperfection. Simple, but try doing that in rush hour traffic, and you'll see why it's called practice. The real takeaway: you don't need to become a monk to rest like one. No screens before bed, no midnight snacks, no just one more episode. Yes, they'd probably look at Netflix like it's a strange new karma test. Just bring a little of that mountain calm into your routine. Because the monk's secret isn't that they sleep less, it's that they live lighter. End your day slowly, breathe before bed. Forgive yourself for the chaos, and don't make rest another competition. And if this glimpse into Tibetan wisdom helped you exhale even a little, maybe hit that subscribe button. Not as an act of attachment, just as a small modern offering to keep calm stories like this flowing. Sleep well, or at least rest well enough to smile tomorrow.